Hello everyone. We are doing a little flip of the ICADs. Did I finish all 61 days of ICAD? No, I sadly did not. I was so disappointed. I really wanted to. I got to day 43, so I got pretty far. But I didn't quite finish them. But I had promised that I would do a little flip through at the end of the ICAD challenge of what I created throughout the ICAD challenge. And this is it. This is my time. I'm going to share with you guys. At around day, I think 45, 43, 44, 45, somewhere in there, we had two kiddos come and move into our house. And like we didn't have a whole lot of warning about it. I think it was maybe day 42 that we kind of found out it was happening at day 45 of the challenge. So that's kind of where a lot of creating stopped for quite a number of days as we sort of were adjusting. I think the kids have been here for around 2.5 weeks at this point. And we're still adjusting, that's for sure. We are still adjusting, but we are getting there and things are improving, and I'm getting more and more time. Well, not more and more. I'm getting a certain amount of time to be here in my crafting space, which is so good, because for the first week and a half I don't think I was in here once. So that's why ICAD sort of stopped. It just happened to stop. So I thought I might just do a little flip through for you guys of my ICAD cards, because I had promised that I would share these up close and personal and give a proper share. So this was my title card and also day one. I did not follow the prompts that Daisy Yellow ICAD challenge. I didn't follow those prompts. I just did whatever I felt like each day. So this was my day one. I wrote ICAD 2023, and I had recently been on a trip where I had picked up this kind of like flyer thing that had these this penguin with a little underwater thing, and then this flying penguin here too on them, and I really liked them, so I cut those out, and that was my day one. This one certainly was the one that took me the longest, because I did quite a mixed media background on this, and I did not do that for the rest of them because I quickly realized there was no way I was going to be able to keep up with the challenge daily for 2 months if I was doing that much work on it. So they were not, I mean, they're all semi-mixed media still, but not as intensely background heavy as this one was. It doesn't even, honestly, I was kind of disappointed. It took me ages, but there wasn't that much even visible left, but I did like it. But that was day one. Day two, if you can dream it, you can do it. This got a bit mucky up here. You can see I used a Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2, so they're water soluble, and when I put the glitter on top of it, it kind of smudged it all a bit, so I didn't love that, but it's okay. This was all just practicing and playing around, so it's all good. I'm going to just flip these upside down so I can keep them in order when I put them back. But this was day two. The stars that I cut out for day one, you can see these silver stars. I use the negative space here on this one, and I really enjoy using the negative space of things, of that holographic stars. I don't know, I just liked it. I found this challenge to be a really great way of using up a lot of these collage pieces that I had been hoarding for a long time. I had bins of them that I just was saving for art journaling and just hadn't really got around to actually doing the art journaling. So this was a great way of using them up. Sorry, I'm just moving my chair a little bit because I'm standing and my chair is poking into the back of my legs, so excuse me. We will file these scenes in our memory banks as this new city we are coming to know. I just like those words, and then altered realities, and I just cut up a bunch of different pieces. There was some like random background pieces. I really liked this neon sort of looking background piece. Then there was this woman here doing this funky move. I don't know, I just used like lots of little bits all layered up, and there's so many like different layers to see on these cards, and then the glitter just is my favorite thing. So that was day three. Day four, Into the Light. I just loved this stained glass window piece I had here, and then this woman looked kind of like she was walking into the light or coming through from the light, and I had these words. They were all different pieces, and I've just pulled them all together from different bins, and I just love how they turned out. I really, really had so much fun with this project. I intend to try it again next year and see if I can finish it. This one was really fun. I had this piece that said catastrophe theory, and that was what I was planning on using. Then I found this like orange and purple part. I found this image of fireworks, and then I cut out this sort of spark. And then I actually had a wrapper from some fireworks from Guy Fawkes last year, and I managed to cut out a little part of the wrapper on that to add that in here, and I thought that was really fun. I really enjoyed how this one came out, and I'd been hoarding this picture of the fireworks for ages. That was day 5, yes. Day 6, this was my my grandmother's birthday is on the 6th of June, and she was very, very special to me. I am, my middle name is June because her name was June. I'm called February and June on here. That June is about her. She was very special to me, and this was her birthday, and so I wrote about the special love. On her birthday, we get out our fancy teacups. My cousins and my sister and my mum and things all get out our fancy teacups and have a cup of tea for her in our fancy teacups. And this rose image reminded me of the beautiful roses she had by her outside her house that were a symbol of my granddad to her. And so there was just some special bits on there that kind of really reminded me of my grandma. So that was in honor of her birthday that day. I was making cookies like a mad woman at this point in time. I was eating so many cookies. I just love them so much. They're so delish. And so I made a whole ICAD card around cookies. I had this great big cookies image. And then I used my brother label printer to print out the word cookies, cookies, cookies. And then just layered up a whole bunch of different orange and yellow kind of papers in the background. I'll put that one up the right way. This one is, this person with the wings is a printable from Patreon of mine. And then the rest of it was just different background pieces and things. This is like a comb or a hair slide kind of thing. And I just really loved all like the beautiful birds on it. So I put that in behind. And then, yeah, I just had a whole bunch of words that I'd cut out at different points. So this cut, I really loved this like, hydrangeas all in this like kind of rusty old container. I just think it's so beautiful. Yeah, so that was that one. This one I didn't love. It's okay, but I wasn't in love with it. I just had this one big image that had this shell heart, and I added the from the heart, and I added this gold oil paint on it, and that is what I think, it's this shiny stuff, that is what I think I didn't like about it. It just got a bit messy, and I maybe went a little too hard with it. I don't know, but you learn, and it's all about just playing around and practicing, and if you don't like it, it doesn't matter. You still achieved making a card in the day, so that's okay. This one here, this butterfly is a printable from over in my Patreon. This piece down the side here is a painty paper I made on my jelly plate at some point in the past. And then this beautiful like protea, I think these are proteas or leucadendrons or something in the background. So beautiful. So I just really liked that one. This, again, printable from my Patreon. I had this really great shiny paper that I cut out this like starburst kind of shape. Can you see the shine on it? When you get it in the right light, and then just added so much glitter. It was also at around this time that my neon sewing threads came in the mail. So you'll start seeing some sewing threads on my ICADs that was happening at this time, because I got a bunch of new bobbins, I got myself a new needle, and got everything made so that I could use it in my sewing machine. And I just love it. Look at that. So I got neon orange, neon yellow, and then neon pink as well. And they're just so pretty. I love them. This one here, I sewed a ruffle out of some beautiful fabric. You can see it's like so thick and textury and beautiful, and stitched it onto this huge big rose image. And I had this, these shiny stars that I cut, like punched out of some purple glossy shiny paper. Oh, I just love all that sparkle and shine. Obsessed. Here we go, another vertical one. I as you can see, I sort of alternated between vertical and horizontal on this. I liked this Visit Your Dream. I loved that idea. I've got this, I love this like cloche of butterflies in here and like looking through this really beautiful mirror. I don't know, it felt very magical and whimsical, and I just really loved it. So, and I liked the idea of this was how you visit your dreams or something. I don't know. It was just very beautiful, and I really enjoyed that one. This one was another one I didn't like so much. I wanted gold glitter. I did not have any gold of my glitter paint at the time. I have since bought some, but I didn't have any then. So I used PVA and kind of squiggled it on, and then added, like, you know, shook the glitter on. And it looks a bit too deliberate maybe. I don't know. And also the glitter just flakes off everywhere. It's hugely messy. not my favorite, but it's okay. And again, it was learning, it was practicing. You can see the pink neon thread on the edge of that one. And I got a card done, so it doesn't matter if I like it or not. This one was so fun. It took me ages because I had to cut out all of those stars by hand. But I had this beautiful doorway image, and then just I had the idea of having all these stars just like tumbling through the doorway. And I really liked how it turned out. It was really, really fun. And then I found that word incandescent, and I just thought, how fun is that? And look at the sparkle and shine when you get it in the right angle. It's so beautiful. I love it. So I was really enjoying the process of making that one. It was really fun. Another vertical one. This one was very like muted compared to my colors. You guys know I'm a bright colors person typically in my creating. This one was very muted, and I started off with the image of the swans, and then the word swan song I think was on the same page with the swans, so I cut that out too. And then I just sort of found some really beautiful kind of muted pieces. But like, look at all of the little scraps you can find in magazines. Like the whole image is just like a room, but you can just find these little like ornate carving pieces. I don't know, I love tearing up magazine backgrounds, like images just for like background scraps, because they're just so beautiful. Like this was a building with windows, but how beautiful is it when you kind of put it all into one big piece like this? I don't know, I had so much fun with that one too. This one is another vertical one. This was pretty much, I had this one big oval piece, and then I just added some painty paper in behind it just to fill in the corners. And then I had these beautiful wings that are, I think they're made of wood, that were in a magazine, and I'd been hoarding them. And then I found the words "In Pursuit of Venus," and I don't really know what it means, but it just sounded very magical to me, and it felt very fun. And then it's got just the two sort of sequiny stars on there. I really enjoyed that one too. Back to horizontal. Fairy tale. This just felt like, it's not a fairy tale, I know, but it felt like it could be some sort of fairy tale, you know? There's these beautiful jewels and all this gold, and then there's this girl flying with doves. I don't know, I just sort of put things together that I thought felt like there could be some sort of fairy tale about that. I don't know. There's not necessarily, but it just felt like someone could write one. I don't know, it was very fun. This one was another fun one. Again, a lot of these, they don't necessarily have any meaning. They were just pieces that I felt like went together and kind of worked, and I don't know, I liked it. I feel like you could tell a story from them. Like you could pick out all the pieces and create some sort of story out of it. I don't know. It was another fun one. Beauty, back to vertical. This is a printable from my Patreon, and the rest of it is not. The rest of it is just things I found in books and magazines, which I really, really enjoyed. Get off there. So pretty. Like, look at those background florals, those beautiful, beautiful flowers. They're poppies, I think. And then there was this like illustrated flower. I don't know, I like that combination of the illustration, the illustration, and then the photograph as well. Really fun. Here's another vertical. This woman, she's like slightly out of focus, and I love it. And then I don't know, I just picked up on the yellows and oranges that were in the image of this girl, and then just sort of went with it and added a bunch more like orange and gold and yellow and the greens and things that I could see on her outfit. And I just really enjoyed sort of bringing those colors together. I'd also just got this black glitter, and I liked adding all of that black on there as well. It was really nice and contrasting, really fun. I had just listened to a podcast about Wendigos and something walkers. I can't remember what they're called. It was a while ago now, but I was sort of thinking about that, and I think that's where this must have come from, because it's not really my normal style, but I had this image and then this word unknown came up, and so it just I don't know, I think maybe it must have stemmed from that podcast, because it was the day before I think I'd listened to the podcast, and so it was kind of on my mind. I was still pondering it over, and then this came out, and I was like, okay, that's pretty grim, but it's really interesting. I love the backgrounds again. Like, look at that background, and then there's this like glass of wine, but it's like super it's not in focus. It's really in the background. Can you hear that hail? Such a weird weather day. This one, I had these yellow roses that I wanted to use. And so I got out my typewriter and I found online this song or poem or something by Sherry Bent about yellow rose, my yellow rose, and it was just so pretty. As I bathe in her beauty and I walk in her light, she takes my breath away like love at first sight. My yellow rose, to her I belong. She is my unwritten tale, my unfinished song. I thought it was so pretty and like whimsical, and I had those yellow rose images, and I got out my typewriter and wrote it on yellow paper, and I had a lot of fun with that one. I don't get my typewriter out nearly enough, so that was super fun to get in there and use it. This one was really fun too. It was just about curiosity and creativity, and when you just follow that curiosity creatively, just see what comes out of it. So there's like this pencil that's just writing out all these things. I've got a typewriter. I've got these like little creative kind of elements of, elements to help you create things. And then there's this background piece, which I loved, which were all these post-it notes on a wall. And so I just tore that up and used that as like a collaging element. And I think it's so cool. So cool. It's amazing what you can find just like in the background of magazine images to use. This one was another fun one. It was another piece of jelly plate paper in the background. Then I made this starburst and found this octopus. And then this word was in my bin of random words, and just the colouring matched so well with the octopus, and I don't know, I just thought it kind of worked really well. So strange, I don't know, octopuses are kind of strange, aren't they? I liked it. This one felt weird doing because it was midwinter at the point of making this, and it says high summer. I think I was wishful thinking about the high summer. It was cold, 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 and I wanted those warm days, and I just had these beautiful images. Oh, I love that colour palette so much. I just love those oranges, golds, yellows, and the greens. Oh, so beautiful. Browns. Love it. So that one says high summer, and it's got that gold glitter on it. This one felt a lot more appropriate. Warm, comfy. Woolen blankets, cozy inside on a chair. That feels a lot more appropriate for the day I was making it. And today, honestly, it is hailing, and we've had like a big windstorm, we've had flooding, we've had just ridiculous weather, and I'm over it. I want the sunshine again, but that feels right for now. This one I sewed on this really beautiful trim that I had, these little like flowers. It makes it so thick, it's so beautiful. And this is another printable from over on my Patreon, but I found like there was this picture in a magazine of a wall, and on that wall they had all of these images of like ballerinas all together, and I thought that was so beautiful. So I ripped out the picture of the wall, and it just felt very like fairy dancer, ballerina, beautiful. I liked it, and I got these beautiful like pink roses up there to match in with the like little pink rose kind of trim. This was so fun. This one stemmed from this scrap of paper I had that had the Morse code on it. I thought it was so cool. I had been like hoarding that for a long time too. And then I was looking for some like contrasting elements, and I found these beautiful golden marigolds and then the word marigolds. And then I decided I'd use my label maker to print out the word marigolds in Morse code, because why not? So I did that, and it was a really fun one. I am not sure that it's like my favorite card. I like it. It's not my favorite, but I did really enjoy it, and I like having that Morse code element there, and I love the color contrast. So fun. This one is my tea time one. I love me some tea. This is a printable again over on Patreon. And then the rest of this was like, I had this background piece of all of these like cups and plates on this shelf, and they're in these beautiful bold colors. So I found the letters in my letter cutout bin that kind of matched the color palette a little bit, and wrote tea time. That was really fun. In the fullness of their power. I loved making that crown for the elephant. That was really fun. This was a scrap left over from the other marigolds one that I'd done already, so I just added that on the bottom because it went with the colours again. Just love it. So beautiful. I love those. Orange is currently, I think, my favourite colour. My colour does change often, but I think at the moment orange is really speaking to me. So this one here was not on the 30th. This was on the 2nd of July, but that happened to be my 30th birthday. And so I was, doing what is it? Must be 30 years around the sun or something. This was kind of my symbols here. And then I've got space kind of happening out here with the stars and things like that. So that was another fun one to do for my birthday, because I turned 30, and yeah, that was that. I love this shiny paper again. So fun. I was feeling a bit hurried at this point because we were getting ready to go away. And so I used this affirmation. This affirmation and this butterfly actually are both over on my Patreon for the month of July, I believe both of them were. And so I used them. I have time to do the things I love, and added that butterfly on. And that was a nice simple one. It was just one piece of tissue paper in the background and then 2 elements, and then cover it in the glitter paint. I got that pinky purple glitter paint from my husband for my birthday the day before, so that was really fun. This one I did in the car driving to our vacation that we were going on. So that was really interesting. I had like a tub of stuff on my knee while I was driving, and this happened to come out of that, and it was fun. It was really interesting creating in the car while my husband drove. I haven't really done that before, so that was fun, and this is what came out of it, and I like it. This one I did at my sister-in-law's house while we were staying with them. I had, again, a bin of, random bits. I didn't have very much, so I pulled together a few things, and this was the card that came out of that. This one happened once we were at the next place we were staying. Again, I only had a bin of things with me, so it was just a matter of what scraps have I popped in this bin. I really love these houses in here. I don't know. I liked this. A bright future. I don't know. I like it. This one again was on holiday. I had that beautiful lantern image, a bit of jelly plate paper, this little butterfly, and then the word seeing is believing. Again, I don't know what it means, but I like it, and it's fun, and you could come up with some sort of story behind it, but I don't have one. This day and the next day was collabing with my niece. She is 2, and I was helping her with it in the sense of passing her new sticker sheets and talking about the stickers with her while she stuck them on where she liked them. So that was 2 days while I was on holiday with my niece. She's beautiful, and I love these ones. They're very special because she helped me make them. I've written on here, collab with Freya. This was when I got home again, I believe. Maybe I was still out at this point. I don't remember, but I like it. It's very simple, but I was trying to kind of pare back and simplify a little bit. This might have been when I found out that we were getting kids coming to stay with us, and I was a little bit frantic, quite honestly. I was feeling a little bit frantic. I had this great image of the back of like a road sign or some sort of town sign. It was just the back, and I loved it. I got it out of a magazine, and so I put on the sign, take a breath, and then I just have these really interesting background papers in behind there. That was really fun. Here, you can do it. I was feeling stressed, and so you'll see that those 3 were kind of hyping myself maybe for the challenge ahead. The you can do it one, pretty simple again, and I love it. I did stenciling on this one though, which was fun. And then the last card that I got to do was enjoy the ride. You've got this. I was just giving myself reminders because I was feeling a little bit stressed, but we got there. They arrived, and we're doing fine now. It didn't take long. But this is also an old printable from my Patreon, I believe. Yeah. So those, my friends, were my ICADs for 2023. Let's see if I can get them into some sort of a neat pile. I might need to just do this off camera because it's probably very boring. But those are the 2023 ICADs. I hope you enjoyed having a little sneaky look through and a little chat about all of them. I had so much fun making these. Honestly, I'm sad that I haven't had the opportunity to finish it up. But it's okay. I had never been able to keep up for more than like 5 days of a daily challenge before. So getting all the way to day 43 was big impressive for myself. I was really proud that I got that far, and I've got this beautiful chunky stack. I'm still deciding what I'm going to do with these, if I'm going to keep them, if I'm going to use them in my journal, if I'm going to send them out to people in mail. I don't know. I'm just going to think about it. If you've got any suggestions of what I should do with these, let me know. But yeah, maybe I'll put some of my favorites up on the wall or something. I'm not sure. But thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed getting to have a look, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye, friends.